Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I'm doing very well. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here. It's going to get about 60 degrees. Nice and sunny. So I'm looking forward to being able to go jogging here in a little bit after I finish filming my video. I'm going to enjoy the nice weather outside, jog a little bit around the lake, around my house. Hopefully see some of the birds. Maybe even a couple turtles if the turtles are active. It might be a little bit too cold for the turtles to be active, to be visibly active. Usually I don't see them until a nice hot summer day whenever they're sunning on the rocks in the water. Geo had been missing in action for the last couple days, and finally last night he did re-emerge. I wasn't sure if it was just because we've had some really cold, rainy weather here, so I'm thinking maybe he's been cooped up in his tree. I'm not even sure where his home is, where his tree is. But last night I had the door open for a little bit. He must have heard me walking around the house here or whatever. And he came to visit, and I gave him some of the nuts that Nicole Buckeye Stitcher sent him. So he was all happy about that. And he hung out here on the porch for a good 45 minutes to a half hour enjoying his supper. Speaking of Nicole, definitely be on the lookout for the next Confessions of a Floss Tube video, which will be going up on Tuesday morning, probably around 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, maybe a little earlier. I'm not exactly sure what time I'll be putting it up. I think I already have the video edited and ready to go, so all I have to do is schedule it for YouTube. And that will be going up on Tuesday. And that is my interview with Nicole Buckeye Stitcher. And I'm really thrilled to have her on the channel and on the series. And it was a really nice time having a... As you can tell, it's still morning here, people. It was really nice having a conversation with Nicole. That was actually my very first in-person conversation with her. And we really hit it off well, and I'm looking forward to a lot more conversations and dialogue with Nicole. She's very knowledgeable in her craft and what she likes and what she doesn't like. And that's what I think is so great about having conversations with fellow cross-stitchers and crafters, is hearing about what they like, because there are so many different styles in this community. And to have the opportunity to learn about those different styles, because I know my style is very different from other people. And I like that. I like the fact that I stitch different things, and that I see the craft from a different lens, but also enjoy watching other people stitch things that they enjoy stitching and hearing about it. And that's what I like about so much about what I'm trying to do with the new series. So be on the lookout for Confessions of a Floss Tuber season 1 episode 2. That will be out on Tuesday. Also, I have some special guests lined up for us, hoping that all works out. I'm going to be doing some more recording here in the coming week for some future possible special videos or special episodes. So I will keep you posted on that as that plays out. I'm really looking forward to those conversations. And it's really been a lot of fun recording those. And I'm really appreciating all the shout outs and attention that the series is getting, because it is a lot of work to put this together. And I really appreciate all the love and support that you guys and gals are giving me for the series. And I hope that you continue to watch and participate, because I will be calling on many of you that have floss tubes, many of you that have channels, to participate as time goes on, because I will need new content. So currently I am working on my Phoenix Rising. This is a Ginger Gerald design that you can find in my Etsy store. I will link it below. I am using the called for DMC threads on 30 count petroleum linen by the Primitive Hair. Now, I believe that linen is no longer available, but you could get a very similar linen or a very similar fabric, such as the fabrics being used for the chalk designs, or any kind of dark fabric, or use any kind of fabric you like, because I'm all about being creative. This is my largest design in my store at the moment. It is based off of a drawing that I drew while living in Korea. I was inspired by all of the Korean art, and a lot of the design, the drawings and the art that my students, whenever I was teaching, were drawing. And so one night I had purchased a black drawing book to be used with like colored pencils or gel pens and stuff like that. And so one night in my apartment, I sat down and I decided to just start sketching a phoenix. And on my Etsy page, in the pictures on the listing, you can see the picture that I drew that night. And so I thought that would be a wonderful thing to turn into a cross-stitch design. And this is actually the very first design that the very first project that I ever made into a design. And I'm finally now stitching it up, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Now, and as I have mentioned previously, I have altered my original design idea for myself with the back stitching, and I'm using Accentuate blending filament for my back stitch, and I am going to include that in the design information, so that if you do purchase the design, you will have that information as well as the DMC back stitching information. These designs are available now, both in a PDF and printed patterns. So you can either get a downloadable instant download PDF, or I can send you a hard copy PDF or a hard copy printed version. I also have two other designs. Let me see where I'm at here. 1, 2, and so we go in 3. As you can see, I'm doing since I'm using 2 strands, I've been doing the loop method. So I also have 2 designs ready to go to get stitched up. I'm literally waiting on fabric that was supposed to be here on Thursday, but apparently the postal service got delayed and it is not here yet. So I'm hoping it arrives today in the mail so I can get a start on those designs. That shouldn't take too long to stitch up as they are smaller patterns, and maybe get them ready to go for my update on Wednesday. But if not, I can always throw in an added video as a shop update. So I'm not too concerned about that. I will get them ready to go when I get them ready to go. But again, I want to thank you all for your support and enthusiasm about my store and my designs as I've been working on them. I've really enjoyed the process, and I'm really enjoying bringing the process to you and showing you how I've been going through, you know, some of the details about starting my business. One of the comments on last week's video had mentioned, will I be making a pattern of Geo? And I have been throwing around the idea, and he has been coming up in many of my thought processes as to how I can incorporate him into something. So don't be surprised if at some point you see a squirrel on a pattern. That is a possibility. How, I'm not sure yet. I have many. I have a long list of ideas rolling around in my head with pattern brainstorming. So it's very possible. When, I have no idea. It was also brought up as on my live stitch with me if I would do a similar, I guess like a larger full coverage picture of geo pattern, and I'm not sure. I would consider doing that, but I don't know if there's a big enough interest in doing something like that. So I would be interested to know if there would be an interest. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, let me know. And then finally, last week at the end of my video, I had asked if there was any ideas for topics for these videos. And one of you, LDR, I believe it was LDR Stitcher, gave me some wonderful ideas for possible topics. So I thought I would use one of those today to briefly talk about in my video. Let me just get to where I need to switch over to, yeah, I have to switch pages on my pattern here. One, two, three, four. And her suggestion was where in the world, what countries in the world would I be interested in traveling to? Excuse me, I just had a drink of coffee. What countries in the world would I be interested in traveling to that I haven't yet? And so where would I like to travel to or live in the world? What countries and why? And oh, there are so many that I would be interested in traveling to. So first off, I would love to go to pretty much anywhere in Europe. I've never been to Europe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2. Okay, so I need to do 2 3s and then 2 4s. But especially, I would like to go to Eastern Europe, so old Europe, that hasn't really been touched by war. So Budapest, Prague, those countries that, you know, still have all of the old architecture, the cathedrals, the classical architecture and cathedrals from, you know, the Baroque and the Rococo and medieval times. I would love to take a Viking river cruise down the rivers of Eastern Europe. I would love to go to Germany. Of course, I want to go to Rome for the art and the architecture. Paris is, I would go just to go, but it's not top on my list. I want to go to London, you know, England, and in Scotland. And I would love to go to China. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to the Shanghai airport. But I haven't been anywhere else in China. I would love to go to the Great Wall of China. I would love to go to the Forbidden City. I would love to go back to Hong Kong because I was there for a whirlwind weekend. I would love to spend more time in Hong Kong. I would love to go to Mongolia and Russia. Mongolia just because it's so untouched. And it would be such a neat place to see what tribal Asian cities look like. And what the Han dynastic and the Mongols and how they lived back. Just get a feel for that world that we don't really ever hear about much in Western culture. I would love to go to Iceland. My brother has been to Iceland to see the Northern Lights. I think that would be a neat thing to do. I would like to go to... Where am I at? 1, 2. So we do... Sorry, I'm just trying to catch my bearings here. Okay. Ooh. I would like to go to Australia and Sydney. I would like to go to Kuala Lumpur to see the Petronas Towers. I am a skyscraper freak. I would love to go to the top skyscrapers of the world. Taipei 101. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai. The Lotte Tower in Seoul. That is what I would like to do. That would be my dream world vacation, would be to the top, to go to the top of the tallest towers of the world. The only places in Africa I really have an interest in would be Northern Africa, Europe, Europe. Northern Africa being Cairo and the pyramids. However, it's hard to get there anymore, I think. And the only place in South America or Central America I really have any interest in would be Machu Picchu. When I travel, I like to be busy and do things and go. I'm more of a city person. Like, I like to do the sightseeing and stuff. I will do the natural sightseeing. Like, I would love to go to a volcano. but I'm more of like a touristy person when it comes to cities versus natural wonders. So I'm not going to want to go and lounge on a beach. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's just not my taste in vacations. You know, I'm not a cruise ship person. I'm not a lounge on the beach and read a book all day type person. That's just not my cup of tea. So I think with that, well, I gotta get. But at this moment in time, my top places in the world I would like to visit are London, and that could be either London, England, or London, Canada, because I would love to go visit Caroline. So I would love to visit London and Rome. Those would be my, and Budapest. Those are my top 3 places right now that I would like to visit in the world. So thank you, LDR Stitcher, for the wonderful suggestion. I think she left a couple other suggestions that I will consider answering in a future video. And if any of you have any ideas or questions that you would like me to answer in future videos, I would love to hear them. So please leave them in the comments below, so that I can have some ideas, because it is hard to come up with come up with topics every week for videos whenever all I'm doing is sitting here and talking. I enjoy doing these videos, and I'm always looking for ways to interact with all of you while I'm doing my stitching for my Stitch With Me videos. So yes, if there's something you would love for me to talk about, please let me know. I would love to, even if it's something I have to do a little bit of research on first, just to better educate myself on before I dive into the conversation. I would love to do that. I don't have a problem with that. Just give me some ideas. So I am going to stitch a little bit longer, let you listen to the music, because I've had a lot of great response to the new music. And I will see you next week, and I hope you all stay creative. See you on the next video.